Welcome back once again, guys. This is Ben Schultz, also known to the recently visiting red-tailed hawk in our area as the fledgling, and this is part 2 of 7 in my Deer in the Headlights tutorial. If you haven't already, please go take a look at part 1 for context, or if you're feeling adventurous, dive right into the second part and see how much you can pick up. We're welcome to have you. So, today we're going to cover synth sound design, and we're going to deal with the bass synthesizer right here, the only synth we have running right now, actually. And so we're going to deal with the ES2 synthesizer. This is a subtractive synthesizer, and the best way to explain subtractive synthesis is in carving. It basically is likened to starting out with a block of wood or granite, and then chiseling it away, sculpting it to how you want it to look, and then presenting it out to your peers. And so it works the same way in the ES2. You begin with your raw materials on the left, you sculpt it in the middle with this filter, and then you present it with the amplifier. And you can add different effects and things like that, like the flanger and overdrive, which we're not going to get into here, but they're there for you if you want. I'm going to be dealing with a very specific set of controls. So if you want comprehension and you want to know more about what the ES2 can do, I strongly suggest you go look at Terry Guide's channel, Terry Guide, all one word. He is on YouTube and has a wonderful comprehensive set of button explanations on his channel for Logic synthesizers. So go look at that if you would like more information on this machine. Joining us today is the lovely and wonderful channel EQ window, and what this does, besides cutting out some low frequencies that we don't need, is shows us what's exactly going on. And notice I have the analyzer turned on, so it's lit up here, and it'll actually move when I play a note. Oops, that's the wrong patch. There we go. Okay, so this will help as a visual guide to see what we're doing. So let's go take a look at listen to what Adam Young has in his synthesizer, just so we can get a groundwork for what we're trying to aim for. Okay, that's pretty much about what we want to listen to. So, it sounds a lot fatter, I guess, warmer are adjectives that come to mind than my patch right now, because, well, it's just a wimpy sawtooth wave, and it's not doing anything. It's not moving. It's not being sculpted. It's raw. It looks bad. It sounds bad. So we're going to spice that up and see how well we can dress this. So, there are 5 different filter settings you can use on this ES2 filter. The one we're going to concern ourselves with here is the low pass, and what this does is, by definition, it passes over the low frequencies and then attenuates the high. So if I were to turn on the low pass filter in the channel EQ, you can see what this does. This passing over low frequencies and attenuating, or making at a lower volume, the higher frequencies. And the low pass filter and all the different settings work directly with these controls here. And we're just going to deal with the left half of this filter for now. The mix is all the way over to the left, and that's the set of tools we need. So turn this off here in the EQ, and let's take a listen to the low pass filter engaged now. Whoop. Wrong instrument. There we go. And as you can hear, it allows more low frequency in than opposed to the high pass. You can even see it too on the display. So what we want to concern ourselves with is moving that low pass cutoff frequency. And so that's the introduction to our first knob here, the cutoff. And what this does is it defines the point, the frequency at which the low pass filter starts working. The higher it is, the more high frequencies are involved. And so it sounds like what Adam had in his track was he started the cutoff filter up high, and then it was moving down the more he pressed the key on the piano. So we're going to get into moving that a little later, but let's move on to the second knob here, which is the resonance. What the resonance does is it boosts the frequencies around the cutoff frequency, i.e. giving it more character. So if we were to turn this up, we would hear more definition and have a clearer audio picture of what the cutoff filter is doing here. So let's take a listen to that. Already sounds cool. That's basically what this is, and you can adjust the amount it has, but this setting is pretty good for now. So I'm going to move on to the third button, or knob, which is the drive. And the drive basically acts like one overdrive circuit in a guitar amp, if you're familiar with those. It clips the signal, and then brings it back down to a manageable level. And so this, in effect, adds warmth and more bass. So if I'm going to turn this up here, and see how this sounds now. And that's our basic sound we want. So we have our sound set, and let's take a look at what we're doing here. We're using a low pass filter set pretty high. We have a resonance set also pretty high just for definition purposes. And you can see it's boosted right here before it goes down that ramp. And then there's a drive, which just adds flavor, just has fatness, and that's closer to what Adam has going on here in the Deer in the Headlights track on the first audio track here. I'm going to leave you for a little bit and then come back, and we'll pick this up right where we left off, and I'll finish programming the modulation, or I'll program the modulation in the next video. So I'll see you shortly.